I live in downtown Toronto, and it's obvious who the Uber driver is, right? Every day, I come in, I walk into my building, and they can't figure out how to dial the number on the screen. Like, that's how low skill it is. They can't get on the screen. It says touch and hold for 4 seconds, and they aren't even able to read that. So they asked me, help, help, help. They did a poll, and 2 out of 5 immigrants are wanting to leave Canada because of the high cost of living. And it gets even worse. That's on a 10-year period. If you actually decline it to a 5-year period, the poll gets even worse. So if you look at all these job fairs, right? And it's, you can tell it's students, it's immigrants going up, and it's all low skill work, right? It's not like we're bringing in enough doctors. We all know that. It's not like we're bringing in enough skilled workers. We have these low skill workers, and it's nothing against them. It's just the reality of the situation is, I live in downtown Toronto, and it's obvious who the Uber driver is, right? Every day, I come in, I walk into my building, and they can't figure out how to dial the number on the screen. Like, that's how low skill it is. They can't get on the screen. It says touch and hold for 4 seconds, and they aren't even able to read that. So they asked me that, help, help, help. And then I have to help them dial the number. I'm doing the last part of the
A lot of
job
them
for them.
can't drive either. I don't know if you've noticed that at all when you've been in the Ubers, but
Yeah.
it's really an issue.
It is an
Fucking
issue.
crazy
Yeah,
sometimes in
it
those
is.
Ubers. But okay, so we all recognize that there's a giant mess here, right? I've been to
Mm.
summits trying to figure it out with some pretty big players, and nobody has a clue really what the hell to do. But what's clear is that everybody is the right word complicit, TK, or is it implicit? Maybe it's both, but like we've all played a part in kind of driving this market into insanity, right? Because we're all trying to make the most money on everything that we can touch. And we're all, a lot of us are very entrepreneurial. So, even if we're realtors, like you said, you're an investor, a realtor, and, a lot of us do multiple things, right? And is there anything that we can do to kind of help fix this mess other than pointing the finger? See, the end result of this summit I went to ended up being that it was the government's fault for everything, right? And it was also that they were a big part in helping with a lot of things too, right? So other than pointing at the government, are there things that we as an industry could do better so that there isn't like this one hatred for realtors and developers? I mean, nobody likes us at all, right? People think, if we make a goddamn penny, it's the end of the world. We should build all the houses for free. But so as an industry, we have this horrible rap because we all make money, and I don't know, do we make it look easy? Like, what is the problem with the industry? Why does everybody hate us?
You're a developer, Darryl.
Yeah, but they
So it's
hate
a
you
little bit
guys way
different.
more
They
than
they hate
me.
realtors more.
Way more.
But I think probably one of the parts would be cost of housing. Like, as cost when housing, you guys should be answering this question, but and I'll give it to you afterwards.
Yeah.
But when house prices are reasonable, everybody's happy, right? When house prices are not reasonable, when the economy's down, everybody's pointing the finger. Nobody's happy. They're looking for people to blame, right? They're looking for people to be able to say, this is why I'm not achieving the things that I want to, and they don't really want to look within. But anyways, that's another topic. So what do you guys think, though? What are the solutions, right? We know there's a problem. What are the solutions that we need to see for people to be able to want to stay in Canada, and specifically in the housing market? Like, how does this housing market get back on track?
Well, there's a few things that I think. Like, we always talk about the supply of homes, right? Like, everyone comes on and says, hey, we need to build 3.8 million homes, and then that'll fix the problem. But no one talks about the easier part of the equation, which is the demand side. Rents are up 9% year over year. Like, no shit, because you have way too much demand. Like, if you just like really peel it back. So if you cut off demand, and what I mean by that is you stop allowing as many people into the country, you will see an alleviation of house prices and rental prices, which could cause financial turmoil for some investors who can't get as high as rents. But that's just the natural part of a cycle, is that this cycle has gone on too high. And yeah, I know a lot of people want to blame the government, and I think there's a lot of issues here, but politics affects economies, and the economies affect markets. So when you have a federal government crushing zoning, and you're a developer, you'll know that, Darryl, and making it harder for people to build the homes that they say they're going to build, but they're never going to. And then you have an influx of people coming in with false promises that, this Canadian dream is actually not as good as you know, these recruiters have promised, and all these, you know, puppy mill sort of schools have promised people. That's a big federal issue that needs to get clamped down on it. And why do people hate realtors? Well, here's an example. I was reading BuzzFeed this morning, and it said, now's the time to buy. Prices are down, you know, volumes are up. Now's the time to buy. Like, it's just, if you were someone giving financial advice and you said, you know, Tesla stock's going to be $1,000 in 8 years, you should buy it right now. Like, you don't know at all. Like, you don't have a crystal ball. And if you give someone that advice, you would be in trouble. But in real estate, you don't get in trouble. So I think that there has to be a lot more scrutiny in the real estate business, where, you know, people make these outlandish claims that real estate prices just go up and you should buy right now. And over the long run, it has. But ask someone who bought in the peak of the market in 2021, how they're doing right now on their investment, and they're coming up for renewal. So now their mortgage is either their amortization is going to shoot to 70 years if they had a fixed rate variable product, or their payments are about to get a lot higher. So I don't know. That's kind of my 2 cents. I think there's way too many people in the business, and it's just too easy to get your license with not enough education.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.